Good evening and welcome to the 11th episode of the Killer Kaiju podcast in this all monster smackdown. I've been waiting to do that intro since the beginning of this podcast. Today we are
Sunday.
Yeah. Fucking where's the mic that comes down into
God.
my hand? Oh! Today we are watching the one, the only Destroy All Monsters. This is the one we've been waiting for, folks. The ultimate WrestleMania of Kaiju. The Avengers assemble of monsters of Japan. It is time.
I don't know, man. I watch a lot of wrestling. I don't remember this one.
And coming off of the last film, Son of Godzilla, this is
garbage.
everything.
I really hope so, because that last movie was just not good. Not good, to say the least.
Yes. So here's the thing, though. We're count down, jump right into this, but I have to say some things first with the last episode. There's a few things I missed that I really wanted to talk about with Son of Godzilla before we dive into this. So just to point out how good this one is. So obviously, Shiro Honda, the director who done all the Godzillas and like who directed the first one, he was off doing King Kong Escapes and other films instead of doing this, and actually turned down Ebra, Horror of the Deep, and Son of Godzilla. And he said some of it was to do that he didn't agree with it, but it was like, maybe I think that's why, but he also was doing other things and wanted to focus attention on that. So after those two movies tanked, they agreed that it was time to have one last film, and they came back. So Shiro Honda, Tsuburaya, everybody came back to this one, the whole gang, the original crew, to give us one last all-out monster brawl, which is supposed to be the end of Godzilla. And this kills it. And it obviously isn't the end, so it makes it even better.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So with that being said, folks, it is a commentary / podcast, so you can watch along with us, or you can listen to us just wherever you are at home, sitting, chilling in the car, on your break at work. But obviously, if you have this film, we are watching the Japanese version, the original. I don't believe there's too big of a difference between the two films. I think it's literally a minute, not even. Yeah, about 1 minute difference. So you should be okay watching along with us. So yeah, let's dive right into this incredible kaiju film. So on the count of 3, we'll count down and we'll hit play. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. As always, it's Lucas and Josh. We got way too excited and didn't do introductions.
Anus Films.
So Anus Films, Toho. Let's
exactly
Toho.
Tradition.
So this film was
Patchman?
truly yes.
Patchman, yeah, yes. Okay, cool. Off to a good start so far.
God, actually, hold on. Maybe not.
Glittery. I like that.
I don't believe so.
Bullshit.
I don't think he's in this one. I heard
bullshit. You're a liar. You're a liar.
But don't worry, this one is awesome.
This looks like a G.I. Joe set.
Don't get me wrong, this movie is all action, all intense over. It's more action than substance of film, story. So it's all about just, it's just so good. So here we get the introduction to the Moonlight SY3. So you notice how it said in the future, and it says, was it 1960X? Does it not say? Or no, it's 1990X. Somewhere in the 90s, I believe is what they say.
It's weird that they counted down to 0.
Yeah, that they included 0 and not
launch. Normally it's just 3, 2, 1, and then you go.
But they hit 0 as well.
I don't know. Threw me right off. Yeah, I couldn't get over it. Also, I like how they took 4 or 5 little toy rockets and glued them all together to make that rocket.
Yeah, well, it's the super rocket. It's multiple things in one, right? So
okay, so remind me.
So
in the future, I'm gonna just take some toys like a wrestling figure and a Power Ranger. I'm gonna glue them together and be it's extra powerful now.
It's a super wrestler,
super wrestler.
Yeah, this movie, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not the cream of the crop story wise in Godzilla film, but this one has the most monsters in it besides Final Wars in the future. But This was like the biggest like collaboration, and like not only that, monsters not from the Godzilla lore come into this film. Like we get Gorosaurus for the first time, and he's from King Kong Escapes. And we get Manda, who's from Atragon, and then Varen from Varen the Unbelievable, which we'll watch eventually, but I didn't want to watch it right off the bat because it's just awful. Tear that to pieces.
If it's better than the last movie, and I'm sorry I'm hating so hard,
No,
but
no, it's bad.
that was just, it was
And
not
then we
pleasant.
get Baragon from Frankenstein Conquers the World. So like we're getting a lot of, and we get Anguirus. Anguirus makes his first appearance since
I want to watch
again
those Frankenstein movies.
We'll watch them. I have to get a good version.
That sounds rad. Like let's do like Frankenstein Goes to Space.
Pretty much what it is.
Sounds dope.
So here they're showing us that the UNSC has essentially made this island area for all the monsters so they can live in harmony. By the future, we've kind of maintained them on this island.
I like that.
They're using actual animal shots here. I like that, like actual stock footage of fish and dolphins. It's a nice touch.
I like how they're trying to be wholesome with the monsters.
Yeah. So there's Godzilla there. Much better suit than before.
I like his little dance.
Yeah. Rodan's suit's looking rough. It's been
honestly
it's been a lot
though,
of movies.
I hated Rodan at first, like when we watched it, but he's grown on me.
Yeah. There's Anguirus back from Raids Again, first time since. Great kaiju. Those are Godzilla's true buddies. And then we get the other, those are like the tame monsters. We get Mothra here as well, and Gorosaurus. And the rest of the monsters are the ones that don't get along.
The dicks of the island.
Yeah, we'll get to those eventually. So Gorosaurus, for y'all who don't know that, he's from King Kong Escapes. When we watch that film, we'll probably see him.
Okay, cool. Because I literally was like, where the fuck does dinosaur come out of?
Yeah, he's from the
watching Jurassic Park now.
He's great. He's got some pretty cool moves. He's got a sweet kangaroo drop kick that we'll see later on. That's a special move. So they're using these, like, essentially these gases, I guess, to keep them calm and to keep them at bay, essentially.
They're using like ways
to keep them there. Yeah. Some of them stay by choice, but some of them have to be persuaded. And then we see them out in the water too, and I'm guessing that's to keep like Ebera and stuff at bay, like underwater creatures from before. Because I believe Ebera was supposed to be in it, but never actually makes an appearance in this one. So, because our total lineup for these ones is Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, Gorosaurus, Anguirus, Kumonga, Amanda, Manila, Baragon, and Varen.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a true monster smackdown, my friend. See, and they're using like the sound waves and electromagnetic fields to keep Rodan at bay. This is cool. This is where we get continuity that Rodan can swim. He dives into the water and picks up a fish. See, he
I wouldn't even say it's swimming.
I guess, yeah, he just dips in like a bird does to catch its prey.
He's trying. He's just doing his best.
He's got that little fishy fish in his mouth. So yeah, this new suit is good, and it's honestly the suit we kind of get for the next few movies. I believe the Goji suit we get in Destroy All Monsters. We get it in not the next film because it's all stock footage, but we get it in versus Hedorah and Gigan, and then I believe maybe even Megalon. This is a cool shot. It zooms out and you see all the different cams on all the different monsters. It's a nice, cool little set.
Besides cam number 3.
So the one thing I don't like about this movie, this is what I'll say I don't like, is you're really not given any of the characters' names, and there really is no point to ever know their names. But like I said, it's straight about the monsters and about the action. That's why we're here.
Good. It's how it should have been.
Exactly.
More monsters, less romance.
I just realized, folks, that I did not start the countdown again, so I will add that now.
Yeah, sounds about right.
As
I asked you beforehand if you had it ready, and you said yes.
I know.
I'm calling you out.
So there we go. Katsuo is that's the first time we get his name. I think he's the only guy's name we get. No one else has a name. They're obviously in the castings they're given names, but they're never really given their actual name. Which I mean it's fine. It's whatever. The movie's all about the action anyway. So right now they're up on the moon. That's essentially where they are. I guess
Or in Hollywood.
Yeah, I guess in the future they just always have people on the moon and are constantly sending people up to the moon like it's nothing. Which is a little odd. Like, I mean, we don't have people just visiting the moon every day, just massive whoever. Like, only astronauts and certain people get to visit the moon.
Well, I mean, if Elon Musk has his way, we'll be all
true.
living in Mars or some crap.
Yeah, like I like that diagram on the table there. You can see in the background. That's a really cool prop. It's like a map of the island, and it shows all the security systems online with like flashing lights.
Oh, buddy, if we had that in like an apartment and we were there, we would just be playing with toys flying over it. It'd be terrible.
It would be.
And then everyone else would be like, "Don't touch our model."
Yeah, really though. They're like, "Oh, can I play too?"
No.
Oh no. So at the base on the moon, all of a sudden these smoke sneaks in and starts like poisoning the whole room. So here I like see what I mean. This film like does not hesitate. It goes right away, jumps right into the action.
Good.
So our whole science team who's on the moon here, everyone's getting essentially they're breathing in this toxic gas. It can't be good because they're coughing and hacking and trying to bury their faces in the ground.
It's piss fumes.
It's more piss fumes. I wonder if they had a reason for using the yellow smoke, if that's just the color they made it so it wasn't toxic, or it's meant to be a yellow color on purpose just to give more color because they were working on color films now, right?
Maybe.
Why use white smoke? Because it won't show up as nice. We can use yellow.
Maybe just smoke bombs, and they were just like, this is what's available at the time.
So that knocks all the monsters out. Rodan does a crash right into Anguirus.
That would suck. He's all pointy as fuck.
All right, he probably got muffed up. Yeah, believe it or not, Anguirus uses that as a weapon a lot, but then when people touch it, it's like no big deal, right? So obviously with everything going on, they launch an immediate investigation. Because you got to know what's going on if you lose contact with someone on the moon. That's kind of a big deal, I'd say.
Nah.
I'd say so. It's pretty important.
Just go to customer service and ask them to get a hold of them.
Moon-based Walmart. I've lost my child.
Yeah, leave them.
Yeah, right. No, yeah, I know it was on
more
purpose.
toys
I'm
for
on the
me.
way back to Earth.
Oh, keep them. Free labor slave.
Right. Yeah, this guy's got the most dapper suit, or one non-Japanese protagonist, I should say. You only get a snippet of him there, but he's got that fresh suit on. That's what future suits look like. Oh, see, so now they're like, what's going on? Monster Island's starting to like rumble and fall apart.
He called it Monsterland, and that sounds like an amusement park.
I know.
Come on down to Monsterland.
Monster Island.
Yeah, Monster Island sounds so much better.
In Japanese, it translates to Monsterland, but in the American cuts, they call it Monster Island. It's where they two change. I prefer Monster Island. Well, that's not good. Notice how the smoke was the same color attacking the monsters as it was attacking the crew on the moon?
Yep.
And now all of a sudden they're just raining terror on Earth. Really cool shots of Rodan just demolishing. I like how
he's just randomly in Moscow.
Yeah, I like how they try and make the film on like a global scale, like all over. And now see reports comes from Paris.
See, this would have been a good way to branch off them and actually have all of them have separate films, like him have one in Paris, like make just little side films.
Yeah. This is a funny shot here. So Gorosaurus is coming up from the underneath the ground and destroying one of the structures in Paris, right? Well, the thing is that was originally supposed to be Baragon, because Baragon's power is he buries underground. That's part of his power. Gorosaurus doesn't bury. He's a dinosaur. So when they went to use and they actually call him Baragon in Paris right there in that report, because originally it was supposed to be Baragon, so they probably filmed that scene before. and then realized when they went to do it with the Baragon, the ears kept getting caught on the ground and it kept messing with the suit, so they had to use Gorosaurus instead. But
Oof.
then they miscall him Baragon in the report.
Too late now.
funny.
Already happened.
Yeah, we already filmed it. We aren't wasting the footage. But I think it's cool. It's a little neato thing that Godzilla's attacking New York here. It's cool that Godzilla attacks the States. It's like he knows that they're going to take the rights and screw up his film series in '98, so he's just getting early revenge now.
Don't cast Matthew Broderick.
Don't get the guy who made Independence Day. He's just trying to make another big blockbuster hit, and he's going to copy Jurassic Park's success and fail.
Yo, Independence Day was dope, though.
Oh, yeah,
just
absolutely.
saying.
So is Jurassic Park. And you know what? If Godzilla 1998 was called something different and they didn't use Godzilla, it may have been an all right film too. But the fact is, it's not a Godzilla film, so it puts a sour taste in everyone's mouth.
What would you have liked it to be?
Honestly, what's the original film that inspired Godzilla? The monster from 20,000 Depths or whatever. I think it would have been a cool remake of that.
That would have been cool. I could see it.
Yeah, it's called The Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. Came out in 1953. It was the film that kind of inspired Godzilla. I think if it was a remake of that, it would have been better. It looks more like him too. It literally looks like Zilla. So I don't understand why it should have been. It should have literally been that, and it's great. Whoa.
They really like their just basic colors, like green walls, blue panels, red suits. Like,
yeah,
last one was like yellow, blue, and red or some crap.
Well, it's cool too, right? Like a lot of the times in modern day cinema, like color correction and color in film is really important, especially when they started transitioning from black and white. And back in the day, like it was so important to plan your sets and your costumes to color, because once you filmed, like that was your film, right? And it wasn't until like films like The Matrix and films like that really started color correcting everything. Like everything in that movie had like the green tinge, you know what I mean? And like then it just became normal in digital films to just color code everything. So it's like, oh, like don't worry about having this costume be bright or whatever. We can just brighten it up in post and make it the focus of attention. So back in these days, you really had to be vibrant with and plan ahead with your sets and to really be eye popping and to grab your eye.
They tried to pull a Simpsons.
Yeah.
Before the Simpsons.
They kind of look like Simpsons characters right here.
Yeah, a little bit.
The yellow suits.
Give him a donut.
Bald Homer. There's little tuffles on top. See, now the Moon SY3, they said they were coming back, and they're like, well, like, why? What's wrong? I wonder what. UFOs.
Causing ruckus.
Exactly.
It's Heaven's Gate. They're coming.
Right? They coming.
They coming.
So, like, we've already had the monsters released. There's some shady stuff going on with these people who have been gassed. Like,
they look like ketchup and mustard bottles.
Yes, Team Ketchup and Team Mustard. It's like the Periphery Scarlet music video. It's a great music video. Similar concept? I think so.
This is where they got the idea.
Right? Oh, can you imagine? That would already make that band a million times better. Oh, this is cool. So like they sync back up with the other piece.
There's a touching butts.
Right? And I feel like, and you'll definitely notice it as this movie goes on. At this time, this movie tries to be a lot like James Bond films. Like I very much feel like they were really going for like a James Bond feel because they were really super popular at the time, especially in America. So like I feel like they were really trying to capitalize on it and try and make this like a Bond film, because there's certain moments where there's like full out shootouts and like it feels like a Bond film for those who watch like older Bond films.
I still can't get over these helmets.
Oh, they're great. I love it.
They're ridiculous.
What do you think's better, the helmets from these films, these suits, or the Exilians from Invasion of Astro Monster with the antennas?
Oh, those ones. I like those ones better because they're funny.
And what about their spacesuits, the ones with the padding inside the helmets, the orange ones?
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Still better than these.
Dude, that one was funny. It looked cozy. That one looks like you can have a really good nap in. These ones kind of just like you could bop your head around and it would hurt.
Yeah. Oh, so here they go. Their XY3 is coming back down now.
Coming to Monsterland.
Coming down to Monsterland.
Gonna ride a roller coaster.
and see what was going on, because that island got gassed and all those people who were on the island and the monsters obviously were hit with that yellow gas. They were safe on the moon, so they're in for a welcome surprise.
Everyone's dead.
That gas caused all those monsters to attack randomly, so God knows what it did to the people. Now they've landed. I like how they just had like the little TVs in the rocket ship. They're just like perfect views, just like straight on.
Sideways.
But then they have like old school like dials for measuring like their gasoline and like their energy and power. Oh, it already looks bad. The whole place is crumbled. Do you recognize our main character here though? From the last film?
Honestly, I was like, honestly, not at this point. The only one I pay attention for is Eye Patch, man.
So do you remember
these
Goro?
movies blend together so goddamn much that I'm just like,
and you just kind of wish for the last one to be over. But Goro in the last one, like the main character who wore the red shirt.
Yeah.
The reporter. That's
the Hawaiian
him right there.
shirt. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Shit.
His hair's just cut back.
I missed the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, well, that's
yellow and red.
See, but that's what made you remember him. That's why they chose those wardrobes. See, something's already off about these people. They're just completely fine with what happened. This is some shady shit already, guys. Yeah, this is not going to go over well. So they come back, and the people who were in the base before, they're like, we want you to calm down and cooperate with us here. And they're talking about how they're not actually free. We have all these monsters under our control now. It's like, okay, so we left and you randomly now have the ability to control monsters. Since when? Red flags, people. Red flags. Get the shot of Mothra heading to Beijing. Oh, and she's going to collide with a train. That's very out of characteristic for Mothra. So right there, you know something's up. See, why would they be like, they're under our control and then show them destroying a train? Godzilla's in the Pacific. They're making him do all these shots. Notice how that Godzilla is a different suit? That's the son of Godzilla suit from the last one. It looked different because they were using
when your band is able to play shows again, please make a Godzilla shirt. Just make him with his arms up and then just like the band name.
Well, I couldn't do that without Toho's permission. It might happen.
Just make a little spin-off.
There you go. Just do giant dino monster.
YMCA.
Yeah, so immediately we know something's going on. They're controlling the monsters. Well, if the smoke can hit the monsters and they're being controlled, it hit them too. So they're obviously being controlled. Like we ain't beating around the bush here, guys. We know what's up. And you can tell they know what's up too. They're like, they have their guns out still. They're so sketchy. Like these are people they normally worked with. So this is where you know something's up. They bring him into this dark room in the back. Here we go. So now we get introduced to our main
Mother Mary
antagonist here.
I wish she had a point on her head.
Yes, the point would have made it a lot better. So she's wearing this outfit and it's like full hood, neck scuffling, and like dress piece poncho, and it's just bright, sparkly silver all over it.
Would be a great pajama suit.
It looks like it'd be itchy, very itchy.
Maybe.
I don't think it'd be that comfortable.
Rub up on some not so good spots and have some chafing. Yeah, that's fair. Right. I'm out.
So the aliens in this movie are called they're Kilax. That's the name of their race, and this is the leader of the Kilax here. And I'd say these are my least favorite aliens from this series. Not for like the fact of what they do. What they do is kind of cool, but it's just the design and like their reasoning for what they're doing is just a little, I don't know. I just find the other alien species to be more intimidating or have better motives. Like, you know, with Invasion of Astro Monster, like I thought they were a lot better of an alien race. I just thought like they had, because they, you know, their Earth was needed water and blah blah blah, and They were using the monster as some grand scheme to like flip around and they tricked Earth, right? These people are just like, we want to take over Earth, and then they show up and they start taking all the monsters under control. There's no trickery.
I mean, you may as well just go balls in and just get her done.
Yeah, and they're bulletproof. The reason I love this movie and hold it in high esteem is because of the monster count and the special effects shots of the monsters doing the destruction and the ending fight scene. And there's a lot of like cool action moments here. As you can tell here, these guys already tried shooting the Keylak leader and it didn't work. So they're already like, we're going to kill these people. We're not.
I like his little phaser.
Pew, pew. Yeah. It literally just looks like a piece to a sink tap. You can see the lug nut around it. Like it's probably just that with a pen on top.
Looks like one of those novelty lighters that would look like a Star Trek phaser or some crap.
But it's supposed to be like a blowtorch for like dabs or something.
I'm in.
Oh, see, so now they start releasing the gas to gas the rest of them. And you can tell the rest of them are already under control because they just walk through the smoke. This is like the pod people, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, yo.
They all should have just started drop kicking some fuckers.
Like that's a creepy shot. I like that shot where they just impose her and they must have had her green or blue screened there, and it's a really cool shot. Well, this classic get under the cement wall before it closes scene.
Squish.
Oh, he gets out just in time. And then their buddies come in with gas masks to save the day. But you see, notice they have the two people with them. So now they have, oh, not for long. See, now they're trying to escape. They originally had two suspects of them, people who were under control. Now they just got the one guy. They just dogpile him.
And why not?
Well, hey, right? Like if he's under control, they can do tests on him and figure out what's wrong. Like, is it every so while they're put under the gas? Is it a permanent thing? Like, what did they do? Is it the gas that brainwashes them? Like, what is it? I'd be like, intrigued. This is a great scene. This is like I'm talking about these James Bond like fire scenes. I like where he's just shooting up in the middle, he's like shooting upwards. When did you see anybody upwards? This is a great shot too. There's a headshot right here. That face.
Oh God.
It sounds like he just like is about to throw up and he's about to barf and he like puffs his cheeks out. But the funniest moment, I don't know if you noticed, but there's one shot where the guy's behind cover and he gets shot, but he stands up and he holds his stomach and the gun wound is where he was behind cover. It's like, how did he get shot if you're behind cover? Did it go through the circuit board or what?
Ricochet.
I guess. Pulling some wanted shit. They're just curving bullets. This guy is already like, shit, I've been compromised.
He needs a helmet. He's not safe. He needs a helmet.
Where's the tinfoil hats?
Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster.
Right. Well, even watching, like, it's a shot of this one girl walking in heels in the sand on a beach. And like every time I see heels on a beach, I'm just like, that's a bad idea.
Stop. It's real squishy.
Yeah, you're going to get stuck and break your ankle.
I don't even like sand as is. Gets everywhere. It's annoying.
So now they got the guy up in this hotel and they're trying to interrogate him to see what's going on. And he won't talk. Won't say a single word. It's kind of a cool point because it shows that they've really got a hold on these guys, right? And at the end of this scene is probably one of my favorite scenes in this early series. Like there's lots of funny monster moments, but this is probably my favorite human moment. It's just perfect.
I don't know what this movie needs. More mustaches.
Yeah, I agree. Like they used to do a lot of really unique mustaches in these movies. Like where'd that go? Where'd they stop doing that?
They got lazy. Like there's this guy. I was like, there's this guy.
He's got a
I do like the angle that the face is in each circle.
Yep.
Makes you focus a little more.
That is a nice shot, actually. You know why you get those nice shots? Because Ishiro Honda is doing this movie and he is a very good director and he likes really cool shots like that where see how it pans back and you get the whole group in shot. That's a very Honda shot. So here we go. This comes one of my favorite scenes. At this point, he's like, I've been compromised. Goes out for a nice breath of fresh air. Yeet.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Yeet. Just fucking jumped out the window. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Right? It comes out of nowhere. And I like how it cuts and they're just down there. Like they just got there so fast. I wish they would have had more of like a stair scene showing them going down the stairs or something. You know what I mean?
That was hilarious.
So then
Sorry.
the other girl that it was hypnotized comes out with these guys. So obviously, you know, they just told him to do that somehow, right? So
He just stands up.
because now they're ambushed. And now you're on the Kilax side or you'll die. This is where it's a very, see, I mean, 2 gun standoffs already. What is this? This is such a James Bond film.
The nice suits.
Yeah. The nice
This is pre-James Bond because there's number 1, there's number 2, number 3.
Yeah. Oh, getting handcuffs now. They're getting kinky. There you go.
Oh, where's King Kong when we need him?
Right. There's some hypnotizing going on, some handcuffs. Oh, but now come their boys to help. So why did they not do that before? Look, they already have the upper hand on them. Well, I guess these guys are busy shooting these guys. I love how the guy's still just laying there dead. Keeping the continuity though. I mean, I feel like we didn't talk about it enough. It was so perfect when he jumps out the window and they just throw the dummy out the window. Like you can tell because he's stiff, his arms aren't like wailing or anything, right? He's just a stiff dummy dressed up in his suit.
I think they just put him like, you know, on those wheelie carts to collect all the dishes after like a dinner rush. They just like laid him on top of it and then like stuck him on a green screen.
Yeah, no, that was it was actually it was a dummy. Like they dressed up a dummy in his suit and they just threw the dummy out the window. They actually did that and they yeeted it out the window.
Now that's how you fake a death. And
there's no like shot. It's not like a falling shot. Like it literally does the whole shot of him leaving the window and hitting the ground, and it's all one shot. It doesn't stop. Like usually there'd be a cut. You know, you see the dummy, it cuts quick, so you don't notice it's a dummy, and then you see him hit the ground or something, and there was none of that. They just did the dummy full shot. It's great. So here's shocking parts. We get shootouts, and this is a gross surgery scene. Fair warning for those who don't like razors. It's definitely fake, but they use a razor to cut them open. So anyone who has like kind of shyness to swords or cutting.
Pussy.
But see what we find here.
Oh, he's taking out the vaccine chip. He must have gotten the COVID vaccine recently.
Don't say that on here, please. I don't want to attract that.
Oof.
Oh, there we go. So it looks like a little metal baby or pellet. And they put it under the microscope and they see like all these like chip works and like you can see like wiring and stuff. So some metal I've never seen before. Well, I wonder what that could have been doing.
Maybe he just got shot by a BB gun.
Right?
Well, had an asshole friend like Lucas.
It said it appears to have a radio transmitter implanted in it. It picks up a signal from it. So whatever the Kilax are doing, they're using frequencies to control the monsters and these people. Is it sounding anything like Invasion of Astro Monster? Except for they lied and tried to give us the cure for cancer, which didn't turn out to be the cure we wanted. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Check out our really funny video on Facebook.
The cure.
It's the cure they needed, not the one they wanted.
That's the cure I need.
So at this point now, they at least have some proof of evidence. So now they're putting warrants out for all those people, right? Because now they have proof that they're being controlled. So now they're trying to find them all. So they all got to go into hiding. This old guy is great, this man here. So it cuts to this guy, and he's just a traveler collecting goods to sell, right? And he's picking up these rocks, and he finds this mysterious rock by the water. And when he puts it down, it makes this like coin collecting Mario sound.
Godzilla. It
actually sounds like the noise when you pick up a gem or a ruby in Zelda. So he brings it to the police, and he's like, "Look, I'm busy. It's unusual, but I don't have time to look at a rock." Like that could be like irradiated or anything. Now there's kids around. Now you're all gonna die. Oh, they see this flying thing in the space here, and at first they think it's Rodan. But then they look closer, and it's the moon rocket SY3. Can you imagine it was Rodan? How can you not tell the difference between Rodan and a spaceship? Come on. See, and then they just this cop and this guy just talk about it like they're like, oh, remember that time we went to the moon? Like, does everyone in this time period just get to go up to the moon for fun?
Probably. It's like a school vacation or a school trip.
This is still the 90s, I believe, right? It was 1990X. They don't give you an exact year. It's 2021, guys. We can't do that. Not yet, anyway.
I'm still waiting for my hoverboard.
We have them, and they're not the ones we wanted. So
no, but I want Back to the Future hoverboard.
Well, yeah, who doesn't?
I want sweet kick flips.
Well, so that Rocky found, that's what's emitting a radio frequency. So when they open it up, it seems to be what's controlling the monsters. It's giving off a frequency to make them attack. Like almost like giving them like a bad, annoying sound to listen to, which if you watch the new Legendary films, it's similar to the Orca, without spoiling too much for Josh because he hasn't seen those. And now they're saying they've been all over. They were a chunk of ice in the Alpine. I like this one. One was discovered in a coconut in Guam. They just placed one inside of a coconut. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a good place to hide it.
I guess. The monsters attack the beaches. They would never know. Till some monkey takes it down and goes to eat it.
Put it in a place that no one would ever go.
There you go. So they seem to start finding them all over these places to try and take them down so the monsters will stop attacking. But, in my mind, what I say is the more they take from these other places, it just makes them go and home in all to like one, and then they're all in the same place.
And then you can just zap them back to the island.
I like these mug shots. You get mug shots of them here. And it seems that we have portable TVs that work like radios. That's dope.
Yeah, it's called the cell phone.
Not 1990X.
1990X.
So is this girl we know she's one of the mind controlled ones at this point, but they don't. So these guys are like reviewing everyone that comes out of the subway and checking behind their ears for those incisions right now because they know where to look. So they go to check hers. We know she's under mind control, but she doesn't seem to have one. Interesting. Thoughts?
Different places.
Yeah, you think it's somewhere where they weren't expecting? Oh, and of course, as soon as she surfaces, the alarms start going off. I don't understand why they did this blue screen shot here, or green screen shot, whatever they used. That one works effectively because they go down and then it shows them going into something that's in the shot. But I feel like that last shot, they could have avoided putting people in it and just had it just be a back set,
Oh, they could have easily just filmed it, like have people out on the street and run
I like
away.
that train miniature. The cars are a little rough, but the train's really good.
Or at least this train miniature has people inside.
Exactly. Well, the illusion that there's people inside.
Little people. By little people, I mean little toy people.
Yeah. And here comes Rodan, the first one to arrive, of course, because he's the fastest.
We can fly. Everyone else has to walk.
He has the advantage, so we get some good evacuation shots. Like that's a Honda shot. That's a really cool shot right there. There's a lot of like really good shots, and you can tell like when Honda's doing one of these films, there's just a lot better shots and more love put into each scene. And I'm just glad everyone came back for this one. There's our actor right there on the right. The one, I guess he's the one person, the lead of the military there. He was in Mothra versus Godzilla. He played the bad guy with the middle stash. If you remember him, he had the dope mustache and he was like the greedy one who got killed and shot.
Yes.
Oh, and now we got Godzilla coming up on land to wreck House 2. So we got Godzilla and Rodan now. And they are here to screw. Oh, that's a good shot. Like, I'm not usually a big fan of wind destruction, but like Rodan does it good. I hate it when creatures like Mothra just sit there and flap their wings like and it just destroys stuff. I'm like, okay, I get it. But like when Rodan's flying, it makes it a lot better. Here we get a shot of Manda. So this is originally a creature from Atragon, and it was usually always like in the water and stuff like that. So it's cool to see it like on land. This is a really cool shot. So it goes underneath and it like entangles itself around one of the trainways. And then it pans over and it shows Godzilla wrecking house in the background. It's just one big shot. This is a really cool shot. Just shows them both destroying stuff in the same. Oh, great shot. Godzilla doing a trademark blow up. Like, see what I mean? The cinematography in this one is just off the chains good. The monster destruction in this one is definitely what we're here for. Like, everything down to the smoke, the fire, like the miniatures are really good. Like, that was a really good miniature.
So now that we watched this one, or I mean, we're not done it, but like we're watching this one, does that mean we can play the video game?
Possibly.
Because, like, attack, destroy.
All monsters.
Makes sense to Josh.
Even though a good chunk of these monsters, like Baragon is, everyone else you've seen, the majority of the monsters that'll get ruined are like the next 4 or 5 films. So it just depends. Like, I think you'll be okay with it, but I prefer if we wait like maybe 3 or 4 more films, but we'll see. Who knows? We pump it out after one day, we could play. So oh, that's right. So now they're like, screw it. They've destroyed enough of the city. Let's just all open fire. Everyone's evacuated. Let's just take these guys down. Like, wouldn't they be tasked on finding the thing that's making them go crazy first? Or burying it?
Yeah, just destroy them.
I guess destroy all monsters, right? It's the name of the movie.
Exactly. I don't know. I'm just enjoying it.
It's great.
This one's way better than the last one.
Oh, this one's like cream of the crop of the Showa series. Like, this, in my opinion, is definitely top 5 of the Showa series. Out of the 15, it's definitely in the top 5.
Good suits, lots of monsters, and lots of fighting.
And think about it, we're not even halfway through the movie yet. There's still like a whole ending fight scene too that we get to. There's a lot to this movie. Lots of action. Well, because at this point, they're like, we might as well go with a bang, right? Let's like use all of our miniatures, blow up all of everything, put all of our suits at risk. Because, like, if we rip them, whatever, we're not going to do anymore. But of course, because they did all that, this movie was awesome and made enough that they were, pushed to make more. But we'll get to the next one. The next one is the worst Godzilla film in history. So it took a huge dive after this again. It went really bad with the Son of Godzilla, this, and then the worst of the worst is next. So, and there's the reason for it being awful is because essentially at the time, one of the Gamera movies had come out. I believe it was Gamera versus Virus. And they essentially just used majority of the stock footage from prior films to like retell a story. And they used like 40% of the stock footage. And essentially they're like, hey, we can do that and use less money and still cream up a little bit more profit out of this series. So they went and did that, and it was a very bad idea. It almost completely destroyed the Godzilla franchise. But anyway, back to this really good movie, and stop talking about the next trash one. We'll have a whole episode on that. I love it. See, at this point, there's like so much fire and stuff. It's like you can barely see what's going on because there's so much smoke because it's all real explosions. I love it. It's so realistic. Cool fire shot there. And then the fade to the desolated, destroyed land. Remember when we were talking about like them being in the cities when they were being destroyed and like how they never show like after it was destroyed and like what it was like being there?
Yeah.
I like how it zooms in there and it says where they're underneath, and then it shows them going underground to the underground facility. So it shows that they're still in that rubble trying to, live through that.
Trying.
Yeah, I find it really grounds the movie and like it's where it takes place. It's nice to see this guy being in a good position and not the crazy, greedy businessman from Mothra versus Godzilla. So now they've got it pretty marked down, though. After that, they know where all the monsters attack, so at least they have it more narrowed down where they could be. Oh, now they're getting more monsters. See, now they say Baragon's erupting from there, but earlier they said he erupted from Paris, but that was obviously Gorosaurus, if you remember.
Yeah.
They mislabeled him. But now Baragon is actually resurfacing. Man, I'm surprised this guy's managed to keep like this clean after all that. I mean, they probably weren't up on the land. They were safe, right? But now really all they have to do is find the Kilax and jam their frequencies, essentially, if they can anyway.
Just use a Kool-Aid jammer.
Exactly. Oh, I could use a Kool-Aid jammer, Capri Sun, whatever it takes. Oh, here we go, though. So one of the girls comes to visit, and she's obviously the one who's been hypnotized. He knows it, but they don't. She wants to tell you all something. Oh, God. Oh, see, she's here for the press. Anytime you're there for the press, you know it's a bad thing. So they tell her where the base is, at least. It's an Izu. Well, not exactly. They just tell them that the base that the Kilax have. So they're saying essentially, if you allow the Kilax to stay there, they'll negotiate for peace and prosperity and live on Earth with them, and then they'll return the monsters to Monster Island. But he's like, I'm not calling that shit. That's not negotiation. That's blackmail. Well, no shit. Oh, and she gets smart with him, and she's like, I wasn't talking to you. Be quiet. And then she just starts manhandling her, and we're like, okay, what's going on? You know what I mean? But then watch this. Ooh, cringy for me. Rips out her earrings, and you see like the droplets of blood. And then he's like, wait, I'm not done. And he goes and rips the other one out.
Jesus.
Can you imagine if this wasn't the, like, he's like, she was being controlled with these. She uses the earrings. So he rips the earrings out. Can you imagine if it wasn't the earrings and he just ripped your earrings out for no reason?
Then he's a dick.
I mean, he was right. Those were what were controlling her.
So now she's just a bleeding-eared girl laying on the floor. Joy.
Yep. She'll snap out of it in a second, I'm sure. She's probably in shock, though. She just had shit ripped out of her ear, and she was, like, hypnotized, right? So there you go. She's so dazed. She probably has no idea what's going on. Just wakes up and sees blood. Instant goes into shock. She's bleeding, doesn't know where she is, and then they're like, tell us where the Kilax base is. And she has no idea. Do you think she would know? Maybe they should have asked her before they ripped the earrings out.
They didn't plan for this.
The poison gas. Of course, she doesn't remember being under control. You're blackout drunk. Do you remember what you did when you were blackout drunk? No. Same goes if you're hypnotized by crazy alien piss gas. I love the amount of military involvement in all the military miniatures. And it's like how like every movie we get, like there's more and more military vehicles and it gets upgraded and upped and upped. I mean, they had to have a heavy military presence because really at this point, the whole world's in danger, right? Like these things were emerging from like Paris and everywhere. So, oh yeah, they're all lining up. Shit's about to go down. Giant missiles on top. It seems like they never run out of missiles, though. They just seem to have infinite missiles.
Always got RC cars on deck.
A for effort for that shot. So one of the miniatures pulls up, and then they have this blue screen shot of the guys like leaving from behind a blue screen, and then like coming in front of it, and then going back behind it again to look at like they got out of the truck. Nice effort. I mean, I'm sure without the the HD remaster and upscaling, it probably looked pretty good. But with this version, you can definitely see the borders. And it's a little rough. Wasn't quite filtered in and blended properly.
Way she goes, boys.
Yeah. But you know what? For 1968, ain't bad. So what's really going to shock you is we didn't do it last time, but I say it's time for the segment of what's the Rotten Tomato score?
Oh, God.
So what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score was for Son of Godzilla?
Oh, trash.
60%.
Ew.
Right? And guess how much Ebra Horror of the Deep had, the last film before that?
Like 80?
57. They said that Son of Godzilla was better
than
Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
Nah, they're wrong.
Absolutely. So 60%. Okay, guess what? This movie has a 75% Rotten Tomato score. So it only has 15% more than Son of Godzilla. That's astonishing to me.
Should have more. This is way better than Son of Godzilla.
There's some movies that are literally not that good that have a higher rating than this movie does. So it
They should have
blows my
called it
mind.
Boglin Child.
Yeah, like we get so many military fights here. We get Godzilla getting up and close and personal with miniatures to the point where we actually see him making contact with them, which we don't really get a lot because those miniatures are expensive, so they don't trash the cars, right? But here we get him getting really close, like stepping on them, wrecking house. And this Godzilla suit is much better. Look at that. You get the tanks getting jammed and stuck and shredding in place. Like there's reason that they're just, not just sitting there. Like you're like, why have they not moved yet? Now they give examples for it. See, we get them stepping on vehicles and stuff. Like they definitely they pulled all of their decks of cards on the table. They're like, yep, here is all of it. Let's just make an awesome freaking movie. And then we get Anguirus coming into Wreck House. Awesome. Just awesome. Just all in its beauty. So much destruction. This is literally probably the most like destruction action scenes you'll get in a Godzilla film ever. It's pretty intense. There's a lot of it.
I can't with their helmets. These things are god awful. Looks like a weird football helmet.
It reminds me a lot of like if you literally like flipped them upside down, it looks like a food processor.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely ridiculous. Or like if you just painted the whole thing silver, it looked like Bender's head from Futurama.
Agreed. Hands down agreed. It's like a cosplay for Bender.
Exactly. Simpsons Bender crossover. That's exactly what it is.
Oh, Rodan's causing ruckus.
Always. That's what he does best. So this movie was originally supposed to feature two other kaiju as well. It was supposed to feature Ebra, obviously because of the water scenes and having the water blocked off. Same with what's one kaiju called what's its name? Maguma. It was in Gorath. It was one of the monsters in Gorath. It was like a giant walrus monster, essentially. And it was also supposed to be, but they were both swapped out for Anguirus and Gorosaurus. And then they brought in Manila because obviously they just had Son of Godzilla, so they might as well use the suit. So they had those three take their place instead. Would have been nice to have some monster scenes, but I guess it is what it is.
Painted background.
Oh, yeah. But a good painted background. Even as it pans over, that's pretty good. So they're out now searching for the Keelak base in the middle of the jungle. And it's like, is this Predator now?
Needle in a haystack.
Want some candy? You one ugly motherfucker.
No, now it's Platoon.
I wish. No, actually, I like this movie better. I like Platoon, but I'm just a Godzilla nut, so. So, this is a pretty big movie for Mothra, though. That is true. I realize that. This is the first film where Mothra appears without the Shobijin. We don't have the Shobijin in this movie. Mothra just appears on her own. There's no fairies to support her in this role.
I'm okay with it. I was over the fairies.
No.
Also, why hasn't Godzilla just eaten people yet? I want to see that. Just pick them up and eat them. Nom.
It's not really his style. He's not in it for food. He doesn't eat food like that. He consumes radiation and stuff. So,
well, eat people.
I like how he's blended in with these shots. So they're running through the forest and Godzilla's in the background. And these are actually really well blended shots where they use the green screen. And I think it's because they use the set and then they green screen in Godzilla rather than green screening in the people. Like they look a lot better, like this one here. The other one looked better, but that one looks pretty good too. He's like, yeah, it's like a T-Rex. You just don't move. He can't see you, apparently.
I like it. It's because his eyes are so sideways.
Right? He's got pug eyes.
Wonder if
like
Godzilla has breathing issues.
That's why he needs atomic breath all the time. Clears out his sinuses in his throat. And here they find just a rock, a hole in the side of the mountain. And they're like, yeah, it looks deep. Let's just crawl in it. I understand they're looking for a secret base, so that kind of makes sense. But I'd be like, yo, fuck that. I'm not crawling in some random cave on an island where a monster's walking around. It could cause an avalanche or like a cave in at any point. That's terrifying. Like, and then the wall closes behind them. Red flags. Now they're trapped, just like that. See? Fears have already come to life. I like that they managed to just stumble upon this, though. Like, of course, they must be in the Kelak cave. It was stupid of that girl to give away the location of where it was, just not exactly where it was. But I guess they were trying to, you know, have a peace treaty.
Leave a little mystery in there.
Mm-hmm. That's right. He's got a flashlight and a gun. Another rock door that slides behind them. Doors are just not their friends. Every time they walk into a room, a door closes behind them. I guess like they're just screwed.
Maybe like someone should just like stay in between the door.
And then it's like a invisible wall. This is like a video game. It's like every time you walk into a room, a door closes behind you and an invisible wall pops up and you can't leave until you beat the foes in the area.
Oh, there's more of them.
You notice how their other outfits are like more of a white silver, and then hers is more of like a crystal silver, so you can tell she's the leader.
She's Queen Bee.
Queen Bee. It's Regina George, okay? You can't sit with them.
I don't wanna.
She doesn't even go here. I like this set, though. This is a cool set of the base here. I believe these sets were... It's not... I forget if they were used in this set or they're reused in the future. I like these UFOs. They look like bottle cap nipples. They literally just like bottle caps with nipples. Or like, you know, when you put a piece of like bologna or ham in the frying pan and you fry it and it bubbles up in the middle and it has like the burnt rimmed edges.
Yeah, I like that. And you got to stab a little hole in it.
Yeah, that's what those UFOs look like before you stab the hole in them.
That's why you got to make bologna rings, you know?
Yes. You know what's up. Or bologna strips where you like cut them into strips in the pan and then you fry them and you can like lay them like bacon.
I want bologna now. That's rare. Bologna's not even that good, but I want it.
Mock chicken though, or like macaroni cheese loaf. That nasty stuff. I love that.
But it's so good.
It's so good. It's nasty, but it's good. Like, you're done for, yo. This is a supreme alien race and you're trapped in a cave. They got you. You've become victims of the cave. It's a Acacia Strain reference, by the way. Everyone listens to metal music. The Acacia Strain, Victims of the Cave. Great song.
Sorry, I'm just paying attention. I'm just
I know, right?
Watching the movie.
Yeah, it will be a little quiet in this one, guys. It's literally just because the movie's so incredible. Like, it's actually a good film. Like, it's intriguing. It keeps your attention. It's well paced. It's the only movie I've ever known that like they barely tell you anything about the characters, but it keeps my interest the whole time. Like, I couldn't even care less about the characters, but I'm just involved in the plot and like the development of the story of like the overall situation. I don't even care about the personal narratives. All the cool old school like laboratory stuff. I remember last time we were talking in the last movie, you're like, it's like a science center-esque like setup where you put a kid and like play with all the stuff and see what happens and hit the buttons. It's literally what this looks like. Same idea, but they just...
This one looks better though. It looks more real. This one looks way more realistic to me though.
Do you think it's because they have just more of it?
Maybe. I don't know, because the last one, it was because each one had like funny colors on it, little screens, you know, like weirdly shaped buttons. Everything's like symmetrical on this one, you know, like they got a row of buttons. It's not just like here's a lever or a lever. You're a lever. a lever and like a knob and basically every other whatnot you can think of.
Yeah, here they tell you go see the key locks and don't take off your space suits until you do. So obviously they don't get hypnotized or gassed or anything. They've got a planet to save. See, that's why it's like good. They got the monsters wrecking on Earth, wrecking stuff up, and then you got them on the moon trying to stop the Keylak. So like it makes for a good balance because as soon as one gets boring, they switch to the other.
Teamwork.
I like when they really zoom in on the yellow gloves. Like from afar, you just see the top half, so you don't really notice. But when it zooms in on his glove there, you can see the gribby grab texture on the bottom side because they're just dishwashing gloves.
Hey,
And
if
then
they work, they work.
added like a little extra paint in the seam, so it looks like they attached to the suit. Brilliance. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have noticed without that close-up shot. So, and honestly, with the film grain before the remaster, it probably you wouldn't even seen those textures, so you wouldn't have even known. So they probably didn't even know you could see it. That's the thing. Not even the directors or the people going over the footage knew that any of this would have been seen. You know, it's really cool effect, and I want to know how they did it. You know, so every time the rocket, the XY3 flies, it has a blue like lens flare, like Michael Bay style lens flare, like blue light across the middle of the screen whenever it shows up. And I'm like, I wonder how they got that effect. Because now you just throw it in post, right? I feel like maybe it would have been like Star Wars style where they had like an extra layer of film over top they did afterwards where they just highlighted the image.
Very well could be.
See?
Or like maybe lighting.
See the blue light underneath it? Like it has lens flare.
Maybe it's like a few LEDs on the back of the ship.
Maybe.
Like inside, just beside the where the flame would come out, so it looks like it's glowing.
Or they purposely like reflected blue light off the lens when they were filming. Like from the side of the camera.
That'd be a neat method.
Really
that would be the word I'm looking for.
It. Yeah, well, that's the thing. They were doing all this stuff for the first time, right? So like you totally had to just come up with your own way of doing it. Like it's really fascinating.
Yeah,
now it's just like, oh, you just CGI it, right? But back then it was like you had to come up with like actual physical and analog solutions to your problems in post. Most of the time you couldn't even do it in post. You had to plan it before the shot because you couldn't just like add film because it was physical. It wasn't digital. Amazing. Every time I see the ship, it reminds me of like Thunderbirds, the old TV show Thunderbirds. Very similar like style of ship. As soon as they land, they're just getting baked alive by these fires and flames. Activate cooling systems.
Will that really help, though?
I mean, the thing is supposed to be flying in space and close to the sun. I hope it can withstand some fire blowing on it.
Oh, that's fair.
It handles re-entry on the planet.
Definitely not Elon Musk made.
No. Yeah, they know what you're up to. They ain't gonna stand for that shit. Like we're gonna bake them alive like a baked potato. So yeah, like it all builds up to the ending fight, and like the ending fight's pretty short, but like there's a lot of monster fights throughout, and the ending fight is packed. Like they don't waste any time in the fight, that's for sure. Like the other ones where there's lots of debate and like dancing around, you know what I mean?
Well, you used to get a lot of separation in between like story, fight.
Exactly. I love how this thing is so many vehicles in one. Like we've seen it transform and become so many things. Now it's like a tank on wheels.
RC cars, man.
Yeah. It's not a bad looking RC car too. Better than what I could do. Eventually I'd like to like try and sculpt and model some of the vehicles and stuff too.
That'd be really cool.
Doing like an XY3 and like the freeze cannons that the military start to use after this movie. They use them later in the later Showa films and a lot in the Heisei films. Pretty much every time Godzilla pokes his head out of the water, they're like, freeze cannons! In the Heisei series, so. Yeah, they're trying to burn right through their shield and get into their base.
And I think it's working.
Well, I think so, because they're backing the hell up.
Exactly. Yep, worked.
Now, this is just the moon base, though. They still have a base on Earth, so once they do this, they're going to have to get to the Earth base. Yeah, the only two things like I will really say about this movie that I don't like, well, I mean three really. I'm not a big fan of the Kilax. They're all right, and I don't like the fact that we don't get to know any of our characters' names. They don't really dive into the story. But like I said, it's not a bad thing because it's not necessary for this film. But the thing that really bothers me that it does hurt this film, we'll get to it. It's like the very ending when we get there. It has like one of those bad cliches where like the movie's great, it climaxes, and then they just add this extra shit at the end that's totally unnecessary. And it ruins the pace a little bit, but
Maybe they're just having fun with it and trying to continue, or they overshot footage. They're like, we may
yeah,
as well.
that or they, yeah, like maybe yeah, they had the extra footage or the extra time. Like, well, we might as well add this scene in because we've already paid for this and said that, and but like the movie like could end at a certain point, it would have been perfect, and then they just kind of stretch it out for a little long just to pull some extra crap. We'll dive more into it and maybe discuss and like try and dissect why they decided to do that when it happens. But so at this point, they've just blown a hole through the Keelak base. Like they're done for. So I'd be like rushing in there. Like I know their lives are on the line, but come on, get in there, guys. Yeah, totally messed. Oh, flashing strobing lights, seizure warnings, Jesus.
Definitely not a fun time.
And then they lose all the color grain. Talking about using color in film, there you go.
Not anymore.
Smart way of doing it. It gives a nice colorful set, and that way when they come into the set, they can just, they don't have to paint as much. They can just leave it all rubble. It's kind of a smart way of doing it.
Spray everything with like a base tone and just kind of go from there.
Yeah, just run through and spray everything real quick. It kind of looks like what they did. Did a quick spray job. That way the light reflects better off the surfaces for like the scene of the red light flashing here.
If it works, it works. I mean, it's practical. Why not? If they have a spray gun, just spray it all one base color, give it some black wash, and see how it looks.
I love that. I didn't expect the massive cannon to be this effective. It's like, what did you expect a massive cannon to do? Ooh. So here we get the shot of the true Kilax. Really cool effect, actually, I think. They're like these little like worm slug things. So I guess snails, because they crawl into these rocks and like that's like their vessel essentially. So like they're these little like slime mineral creatures.
Weird.
Right? That's something you'd see out of like a really far, crazy out there sci-fi film.
It's like Slither.
Ooh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, are they dead? I'm not sure. Look at them. Can they even die?
Or if they're moving, I'm gonna say no. Seems pretty logical.
Can I be honest? I would have stepped on them.
Yeah, I mean,
this guy's gonna pick it up.
Why not try before it tries to go into the rock?
I mean, he probably picks it up because look at it. It looks like pure gold.
Just smash it.
Right? Just break it. Nope. We're going to dismantle it and take it back to Earth to study it instead. Come on, guys. Just destroy it. Why risk it? No answer, so they just assume the mission's failed. Classic. Yeah, well, we didn't find them, right? So they died. All right. Oh, here we go. This gets to like this. There's like, this is my one thing I hate. There's this cliche with all action movies, where it's like the ticking clock and they're trying to do something and it's like so intense and it like pans back to them doing something and it's supposed to be some grand thing. I feel like that's like my least favorite cliche. Yeah, and this one does it in like the silliest way possible because they make it seem like some intense moment, but like there's no time limit they're on right now. They're just shooting it to destroy it. But they make it seem like it's some big, like, huge countdown. Like, they're like, I have to destroy it in 10 seconds or the world's going to blow up. And that's how they make it seem. But, like, really, in all honesty, he's just, shooting a laser through a pipe. It's about to happen in a minute in the scene. And I'm like, it just makes me laugh. I'm like, they really could have done anything other than this.
Doing their best.
I mean, it's effective. It's intense, but it goes on for a little too long. And this looks like they're about to take out like Darth Maul's lightsaber out of the pipe here, like a double-sided lightsaber.
Now that you pointed out the glove thing, I can't unsee it.
I know. Like they're washing dishes, man. It's time to take out the trash.
They should come to my house. They can wash my dishes. I hate dishes.
Those are the only, that would be my excuse. I get those dishwashing gloves. So it's like, oh, time the dishes. I'll be like, oh, I can't use these gloves. These are the ones from Destroy All Monsters. They're
authentic.
Yeah, I can't use these. It decreases their value. Well, I guess I don't have to do dishes. Oh, here we go. So this is the big moment here where they flip on the power and he has to saw through the base here because they want to take it back to Earth, right? This is it. They have the music going for everything, and like it's just he's focusing so hard, like he's starting to sweat, and it keeps getting closer shots of his eyes. It gets closer in the laser. And then the wire catches on fire because it's overheating because of the power, and it's all like it just doesn't make any sense why they make it so intense.
It's just unnecessary. This entire like part is.
Yeah, this is a slow part of the film, but like I said, it's funny and it's not like it's bad by any reason. So I don't think it takes away from the film too much. Like, what happened? Oh, it overheated. Yeah, I would say so. The whole cable's catching on fire, bro. Turn it back on and boost the. Just crank the knob off and turn it all the way. I don't care if we all die. All right, sounds like a plan. And then the music starts again. God, it's so extra. I love it.
Like
so much.
Pee Wee Herman music.
It is. It's exactly Pee Wee Herman. That's amazing. Oh, it's starting to wobble. We're getting there, but are we? Oh, it's still wobbling. And it cuts to all their faces like da 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 da. Quick shots. Da. Oh, it's wobbling. Oh, it's so suspenseful. It's about as like it's like trying to like use a Beyblade or a spin top, and then you videotape the spin top spinning, and then you add suspenseful music and make it some big deal that it's about to stop spinning. That's literally the definition of that entire scene. But with a laser gun, so that somehow makes it cooler, I guess. See, now they've got the main control device down the stern. They're like, yeah, let's get in this truck and yeet it back to Earth. We've knocked out half the Kelax, and we've got their main control device. We've got this team. Squad out. So now they go back to Earth, and this is where everything's going to pick up again. We've got 20 minutes left of the film, so this is where the 20 minutes left of the film. That's usually when a Godzilla movie gets to its climax.
It's when it gets good. Well, yeah. For the most part, not the last one.
Yeah, I like that shot. It's a cool shot of the moon base exploding, all the vents like releasing and all the fire coming up. Nice touch.
We found a nice rock.
See, we found the rock, the Kelax, I guess, essentially, but it needs a crazy amount of temperature and heat to make it active again. All right, and they know this how. But that's okay. Excuses, right?
Don't yawn.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're already making me yawn.
It's contagious.
Fuck. God.
At constant high temperatures, they could probably live forever. Well, yeah. Just take a dip into the volcano and they're good. So at low temperatures, they revert to a rock form, I guess. But
Sounds
at high
like
temperatures, they melt and come back out. Winter comes, you're just like, nope.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't seem pleasant at all.
Godzilla's coming back up onto land the same way he came back up onto land earlier, probably because they reused the shot. Actually, it's interesting. They have a shot of him coming out of the water there, just stepping out of the water onto land. And in the first shot of him coming onto land, they kind of just used the cut of him stepping on the land beside the water and walking towards the camera. And then in that shot, when they say he attacks, you see him step out of the water onto land. So it's almost like they had the one shot, they split it in half, used the second half for the first time, and the first half of the shot to say when he comes on the second time. So it's still technically different looking, but the same shot. That's kind of smart.
Either that or they filmed like once or twice, just be like, all right, now back up like 5 feet and do it again.
I don't think so. I think it's just one shot.
Again.
I'm sure he did the take probably multiple times, but they like the one shot they used, and then they used the split shot. So now they're all positioned in this place in the desolate area where they know the one transmitter is. So they're just like all watching, like it's gonna be some kind of big WrestleMania. Essentially, all the news reporters are standing by, all the missiles, and they're like, and now we're waiting for the first monster to appear. Is that Godzilla off in the distance? Nope, it's Manila. And once again,
John Cena
Godzilla
music plays.
is mistake for Manila. Everyone,
it's
that's
John
like,
Cena.
That's what Kane looks like under the mask. No.
Hey, don't talk shit about the mayor of Knoxville, my friend.
I know.
He's a mayor, okay? Are you?
Kane's awesome.
No.
Kane's the man.
Kane is my favorite wholesome.
Wrestlers. Oh, so now we get Godzilla, Gorosaurus, Manila, Manda, Kumonga, Anguirus. Everyone's here. Oh, there we get Varan in the background. That's probably his only shot in the whole movie.
Everyone's just popping off. Pow pow.
Mothra. And then I love that we get one big pullback shot. And if you're watching the YouTube, it's actually our thumbnail, but where all the monsters are together. And look at that. They're like, Godzilla's like, all right, team, let's go. We're going to muff it up. Let's go. Let's get going. And he's like shaking it up. Like he's doing a pep talk.
Autobots roll out.
This is when this film gets legendary, folks. Buckle up. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is the Grand Royale.
They all do the YMCA dance.
The Kaiju Smackdown. The village people. Oh,
it's fun to stay.
We're missing one big creature. So now we get the classic fire appearance of King Ghidorah. So now King Ghidorah's even in the mix.
They reused that.
Oh, yeah. So the Kilax have summoned King Ghidorah to show up. So now Ghidorah's going to come in, and all these monsters are now going to fight for Earth to take down King Ghidorah. So I'm not even joking. Every monster we just saw versus King Ghidorah. That's this ending fight.
That's easy.
Get ready for this.
They only needed the 3 of them last time.
This is an awesome fight, but not only that, it's hard to watch at some point. You feel so bad for Ghidorah. He's got to fight all these monsters by himself.
Well, you shouldn't have been a dick then.
He's under control of the Kilax. It's not his fault. But here we go.
Come down here, square up.
Even Manila wants a piece of him. Let's go. Square up.
Manila can't do shit.
And I love how it's right at the base of Mount Fuji too. It's dope. And here we go. Ghidorah's making his landing.
Some smoke rings at him.
Here we go, folks. It's on. Anguirus is the first one in. Just charges him. Gets his ass handed to him, obviously. This is this pure monster action at its finest.
Gotta have
Ghidorah
that
holds
teamwork.
its own. Yeah, Ghidorah holds his own for a while. He does all right. Godzilla comes in from behind. I got you now, bitch. Even Kumonga comes in to help. Kumonga and Mothra just kind of like spray their web all over Ghidorah here.
Hey, if it slows him down, why not?
Yep.
Teamwork at its finest.
Right?
Oh, look at that idiot.
Rodan making gusts of wind to push him back to keep him off balance. This is full teamwork. Godzilla just hammering him in from behind. He's giving him blows to the side. I love this. Ah. I love this. Ghidorah freaking zaps Rodan and Mothra and just pops them right off the ground. Anguirus bites onto Ghidorah's neck here brutally. And then Ghidorah tries to fly away and he hangs onto its neck. Oh, it's brutal.
It would have been great if he bit off one of the heads.
Oh, yeah. That would have been sweet. You might get that dream come true in future films.
Hey, it would have been a good spot for it. Bite off one of the heads and then there's just the 2.
And then just drops Anguirus down. That's a cool shot. And then he lands and the grounds cave in. But little do they know that was the biggest mistake, because look what's revealed from the landslide that's caused from Anguirus falling. It looks like a giant LED bouncy ball that you'd bounce on the ground and it lights up when you throw it at the ground. But it's actually the Kilax base. Side of the mountain. Ghidorah's like, no, I'm not done with you. You want to bite onto my neck like you're some punk? And he's like stomps on the back of his neck. I love the sound they use. It sounds like bones crunching. It's actually a rough ass noise.
His foot would be fucked up from all those spikes.
Well, he was stepping on his neck mainly on the one side. So Anguirus is like, yo, I just got my neck snapped. I'm done. I'm out, guys. And he crawls away. All right, here we go. Godzilla, Gorosaurus, you're up. Let's go, guys. I like how Ghidorah's one neck's all bloody now, though. Come on, guys. You got this.
I really like the use of blood in the past few films. Makes it a lot more.
The newer films get really gory. The next one sucks, but after that, they actually start to get really gory. Like Godzilla versus Gigan has like full out squirting blood and everything. It's awesome. Because Gigan has like weapons and razors and shit. So like you get wounds, right? Godzilla's like, nah, son, you get down here. Ghidorah tries to fly away, just grabs him by the leg, pulls him down. You ain't going nowhere. I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. Bonesaw McGraw. Oh, get some atomic breath right to the side there. It's almost like he's cauterizing the wound there. Oh, here we go. Gorosaurus winds up. I think this is when you get the kangaroo kick. Where he just drops Ghidorah's ass. Yeah. Gorosaurus just winds up and just drop kicks Ghidorah from behind. Then they just start stomping on his neck, brutally just like killing him. This is like bad. This is like someone getting beat up by like a gang. Like they just have no hope here.
And he's just watching, being like, yeah, do it. Kill him. Kill him.
Oh, and then Godzilla grabs Ghidorah's mouth and goes for like a jaw rip. Oh, unreal.
This is basically the Manson family and Godzilla's Charles Manson.
And then Ghidorah starts spitting up blood, and then you just see the tails like start to like twitch, like he's dying and he's like giving out his last breath. And then Manila just blows a smoke ring around the last head that's able to like be up, knocks him out. Love it. Manila had to have at least, and then they're kicking him while he's down. I mean, it's like a true ending, right? These aren't like bad guys and good guys. Like these are monsters just doing what they do, and that's killing the opposing predator.
He's the enemy.
Yeah, spray silly string for celebration. They're really just coating Ghidorah in the webbing, but and that was the end of Ghidorah. He's got fucked up, man. You almost feel bad for the poor guy.
Now they're gonna all eat him.
Yeah, and then they all had a snack. Kumonga webs him up for later, and Manila stands on top of him like, "Yeah, I did it, bro. You did like nothing."
Low and smoke rings to the west.
So then this red flying flame comes out of nowhere and burns Rodan. This is when I was like, remember, there's this unnecessary point at the film. Like they could have ended the film right there and then just like, you know, had it that way. But no, they have to have this flying red thing that looks like Ghidorah before it transforms. And you're thinking like, oh God, is this like some like baby Ghidorah or something? Or they call it a flaming monster. So at first I'm like, wow, that's like interesting and intriguing. Is this like the final boss or something? So it had potential, but it's just like, why throw this at the end? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's just Ghidorah's fart.
Yeah, literally. It's like it's heading straight for us. This unidentified fiery object in the sky. Yeah, it's called a meteorite and you're all going to die.
That travels.
And apparently blows things up when it whips by it. Jesus.
I want that ability.
Right? So what do you think this is at this point? What do you think this flying object is?
I have no clue. Probably another monster of some sort.
That's what they call it, a flaming monster. It's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not going to be as obvious. At least I hope not.
I honestly wish it was a flaming monster. And the Keelaks are signaling them here. This is funny. So they're trying to contact them by video. the fire dragon destroyed your control systems. This is your last chance, essentially, is what they're trying to prove. Yeah, obviously, if you continue, only further losses will be on your part. Of course, you attack. They're bluffing. They got nothing. The fire dragon can reduce Tokyo. And then you just hear Godzilla's roar, and you immediately see the worry and terror in her face. I love it. Because if you remember, Anguirus uncovered their lair from earlier, and Godzilla's found it.
Oh, they're gonna have a nice beach ball party.
Yeah. They're gonna be fried eggs or fried seal, or what, not seal. Snails.
Escargot.
Yeah, some escargot. And other yeets. Boom! Just kicks right through the wall. Awesome. Yo, you Kilax are done for, bro. The monsters are storming the enemy. They're still fighting even without the control system. And it's like,
Teamwork.
see, this is where I don't like it, because they're like, instinctively, they're our true enemy. So in all the previous Godzilla films, does that mean that humans are the enemies because they're always attacking the humans?
Maybe.
Oh, that's a nice little spin that they could focus on in the future, maybe. Yeah, she's like, we're done for. She's like, there's no point of even running. Monsters are dead. There's no way to escape. Godzilla's found their base. I'm dead.
I don't know, man. They were talking a lot of shit, so they deserve it.
100%. And Ghidorah gets buried underground with everything in the base, potentially allowing Ghidorah to come back in the future.
It looks like she's just like sat down on the ground and just crawled up. I give up.
And they turn into their snail forms. Peace.
Snail
and Godzilla
trailing.
saved the day. Now so don't forget though, the fire dragon's still out there. They could have just ended the film there, but now they added this fire dragon thing in. So now they got to be like, let's go stop this fire dragon. And I want you to know at this point, there's only 5 minutes left of the film. And they're like, let's throw in this random plot point at the end for no reason.
Pointless. They just had to make it to 1:30.
I guess, yeah. Because honestly, they could have ended the movie like right with that plausible ending. And then instead of mentioning the fire dragon, just have them being like, like we have a like this is your last chance before we surrender, blah, blah, blah. Like we can control the monsters and then have Godzilla roar. I don't know. I guess it gives them a reason to be like, we have the upper hand because we have this flying flaming dragon. But like if that was the case, they should have dispatched it before that whole thing happened.
Exactly. They could have done it a while ago.
Yeah.
Made us forget about it and then it'd come back for a full circle at the end.
Yeah. That, or if they just didn't call it a flaming dragon and they just called it for what it really is, which we'll find out in a second here. I don't want to spoil it too bad for you.
A torpedo.
Yeah, blast it right on the arrow to get a clear shot. Shoot that bish. But it's flying way faster than them, so it's coming up on their tail now. But they have rear missiles. Oh no, but it starts flying near them and it burns the top of their hull. Now it's sticking to them like one of those fish on the bottom of whales. It's just hanging on for dear life. I like this ending shot. The ending shots here of the XY3 are really good, though. I find it looks really good flying in these shots. Except for that one. Spoke too soon. Like that's a shot there. That works. Ooh, that zoom in where it just distorts. I mean, it makes me want to throw up. I guess that's the point because they're spinning in circles. You know what I mean? This whole ending is so pointless. Like, it could have just done without this whole ending. It's the cheesiest part, and it just ruins the epic ending that would have been that awesome monster fight,
I'd have to agree.
And it turns out just to be a UFO. It's just a Kilax ship. That's all it was. It wasn't a fire dragon. Why didn't it just called it a UFO and then been like, after they destroyed them, be like, we can't let the last of them get away. We have to take it down, and then took it down. Why call it the flaming dragon? I guess because they were trying to disguise it as a monster so they would surrender. I don't know. It's a
they were bluffing
ending.
Super hard.
Yeah, this whole movie is the Kilax bluffing. Because really they were fighting with Earth's creations and monsters, so
isn't that always the enemy's plan?
Yeah, I know it's reused a lot in the future. Trust me, get used to it. That's for sure. But yeah, this movie is unreal, but the ending is a little unnecessary for that ending anyway. I think they could have just had a nice buttered up ending with what they had at the monster fight. But hey, it could have been a worse ending. So at least we got the giant monster fight, which was awesome, even though I really feel bad for Ghidorah. Holy shit, man.
Yeah, and there was a lot of monsters in that one, so that's a
Yeah.
plus.
Definitely the most so far. And this is like the first film that really bought like a monster verse together, like a multiverse. Like all these film companies are trying to create these like expanded universes, like Marvel's success, like with even the Legendary universe is doing it again, and like the Universal Monsterverse and DC. Everyone's trying to make their own universe. And meanwhile, Toho did it forever ago. Here's Baragon, since we didn't get him in any of the shots because his suit was too fragile. I like the one shot of Varen we get. There's just like this quick shot of him flying over a hill. We get two shots of him. There's one where he's in the background earlier. And then I think we get like one final shot of him when he like flies over the mountain. And that's it. And then we never get him again. There's Rodan. And then who else do we get? There's Varen. There we go. That's his cameo. There he is. That's it.
Oh, yeah. That's it.
Honestly, it's probably better than his whole movie.
Another pointless moment.
Yeah. We'll laugh really. We'll have a good chuckle when we watch Varen the Unbelievable. That's a really bad one. It's just terrible. So now we get the monsters waving goodbye, a classic cute ending. But I think it would have been better if we skipped the whole UFO stuff. But you know what? The movie is still great. It still has a lot of great moments. Still a good way if this is where they were
left out the last part.
You know what they could have left out? The whole next movie.
Oof.
Not looking forward to that. All right, folks. And there we go. That's the end. Hope you guys enjoyed that one as much as we did, because I know me and Josh both liked that one. What do you think?
That one was way better. Well, way better than the last one. The last one was garbage. I mean, we could have done it. Could have done without Manila and the ending part.
Yeah, 100%.
Kind of just pointless characters and story.
Yeah, like they could have polished it off a lot easier. But the monster fights in it are awesome. Like bringing everyone together was super cool. And like I love that they brought like Honda came back and brought all the original people back. I definitely love that. I would have liked to seen Hirata, like Eye Patch Serizawa. I would have liked to seen him acting in, like I know you would have, but we'll see him in future films as well, I believe still. So it's
okay. There was a lot of action, so like I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah. Plus, enjoy this one because it's going to be really tough to get through the next one. Next movie we're doing, guys, is All Monsters Attack, Godzilla's Revenge, aka the worst Godzilla movie in history.
Oh, joy.
Change my mind. It's impossible. Alrighty, folks. Well, that being said, as always, you can contact us at our official email, which is killerkaijupodcast@gmail.com. You can also contact us at Twitter if you add us at Killer Kaiju Cast. Or as always, guys, just drop us a link if you have us on Facebook as well. You can always get links to our merch site. We have awesome merch available there too. And hopefully we have a batch of stickers we're working on getting as well to get them out to you guys as well for fans who listen in. All right. Well, that about polishes it up for the day, guys. As always, thank you for tuning in. And next time we'll have a really funny time, I guess, if you're looking for comedy, because we're going to tear that movie to pieces. So I will probably even find myself wanting to come back and watch this one halfway through that film. So until then, let's try and live our greatest life until that moment, because that's going to be a rough one. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, take care. And we'll be back for the next Kaiju flick. See you later.
Later.